All right, well, thanks for joining us. My name is Mark Cox. I'm the general manager at St. Augustine Record. With me here today, Sheldon Gardner, Jim Sutton, and then Peter Willett. This is Andrew. We're at the St. Augustine Lighthouse Lab, and a pretty special month for the St. Augustine Record. We celebrate our 125th anniversary this month. And today, October 21st, marks our first publication. So a real special day for us. A little bit about what we're doing here today. You notice this copper box. This is a time capsule. This time capsule was recovered from the record's old building on Cordova Street. The estimated time frame of the time capsule is from 1924. Could be 23, could be 22. We really don't know. But this is a neat day for us, a special day for us. So as we're celebrating our 125th anniversary, the fine folks at the Lighthouse has agreed to open this thing a little more strategically than what we would have done. Peter and I were contemplating getting a Dremel and just cutting it open, and we're advised that that's not a good idea. So the folks at the Lighthouse, Star and Renee and Jason, thanks for having us, and thanks for taking the time to do this. This is actually a process that one might not think about it. So this is going to be interesting as Andrew does his work here, and we get this thing open, and we're unveiling this for the first time, and glad you can join us. Andrew, how long have you been doing this?
I've been working on this box for a few days, and mostly it's just been trying to soften, melt the solder a little bit, and then undo this copper kind of crimped edge, and about 99% done, so I think we're almost ready to pop this thing open.
All right, wow. I'm almost afraid to pull some of these out.
I can give you some gloves here.
Yeah, maybe I should.
What size?
Look like all newspapers?
It does. It looks like all newspapers and envelope, but there's more down there. So the time capsule, estimated 1924.
Nope. A little bit of a stuck spot there.
So this is September 8th, 1965. All right,
That's a trick.
This is
Apparently not that old.
city observes its
front page.
400th anniversary. Yeah.
75.
Merry Christmas from 1975. I'd love to know who.
Oh, that's cute. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a picture of kids with Santa. Nice.
Watch there be like a 92 in here.
Right next to the line about
76.
12
Yeah.
ounces of pot.
Paper from 1976. Castillo di San Marco, just a pin from the fort.
Bicentennial.
Oh, it's a coin. The balloon.
American Bicentennial. This looks like,
Oh, neat.
yeah,
That's the 200 special.
possibly.
77.
All right, 1977, the Flagler Tribune,
Huh.
a product of the St. Augustine Record. Did you guys know that? We did a Flagler Tribune.
76.
1976.
Does look like there's a sealed envelope in here, so that could be something interesting.
It's gonna say ha.
Never know.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Wait, time capsule contest winners.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Huh. Time capsule contest winners are selected. This is from.
That's the box.
This is the box.
So what does the story say? Did they? What does that mean? Did they put
1976.
things in here, or?
Well, that envelope might tell us, but it looks like they absolutely covered it printed in the paper this time capsule from 1976.
Leave that for Charlie.
Yeah, one attempt to.
That looks really old.
Yeah.
There's a few different issues in here.
It looked to be pretty. 1906, the St. Augustine Evening. What does it say?
Evening Record.
Evening Record. I want to try to hold this up to get a shot of the cover here. 1906.
So yeah, these are all 1906.
Okay.
That one's pretty fragile.
Pretty fragile. Or 1906.
Got something different here. Bicentennial bottle.
Wow.
It's videos.
Bicentennial bottle. Chief Osceola. This letter, St. Augustine of the year 2076. So
Bicentennial bottle.
this will be interesting. There's a letter that someone wrote, obviously to be opened in 2076. So yeah, a bit early. This is a summary of the time capsule here. So I'll read this letter. This is July 4th, 1976. Dear St. Augustinians of the year 2076, this time capsule contains newspapers from two eras, that of the early 1900s and of the 200th year celebration of our nation's birthday. When the management of the St. Augustine Record decided it would be fitting to place a time capsule in commemoration of the bicentennial year, we were surprised to find that in the cornerstone of our building, a capsule had been placed 70 years ago in 1906. This capsule contains newspapers from around this era of that time. The Constitution of the United States, laws of Florida, social directories, history and tour guides of St. Augustine, and Christmas edition with the appropriate 4-color font pages. Unfortunately, much of what was contained in this metal capsule was destroyed by moisture, but what remains placed in this time capsule so that it will be kept for prosperity. The remaining contents of this time capsule are various publications denoting our bicentennial celebration and chronologically ordering the events that took place during the bicentennial year. Also included in St. Augustine's 400th anniversary edition and various memorabilia concerning that event. During the bicentennial celebration, the record gave the citizens of St. Augustine an opportunity to express what they felt would most closely represent the age in which we live by entering a contest designed to determine what would be included in this time capsule. All entries and resulting winners' contribution are included in the time capsule for your enjoyment. None of us can imagine what it would be like in St. Augustine 100 years from now, but we feel it's our obligation to let you know what it was like in 1976 through 1977, and hopefully what we have capsuled will give you an insight of the lifestyle in which we live. Sincerely, Robert E. Martin, General Manager. P.S. Some of the materials we felt needed to be put in the time capsule were to be produced later in the year of 1976 and 77. So our actual closing of the capsule is August 22nd, 1977, a year and 48 days after the bicentennial celebration date. So there's history of the time capsule. Originally, it was communicated to us that this was from the mid-20s, but regardless, it's still pretty fascinating to open something like this and the planning that went into it from 1976 and 77. There's a lot of really neat stuff in here. As the letter stated, a lot of it was destroyed by moisture. Perhaps if it dries out a little bit, we might be able to open some of these newspapers from 1906 and read. And I know that Peter and our newsroom staff have done an excellent job getting together our 125th anniversary publication that comes out Sunday, October 27th. a lot of work, months of work went into that. Old microfilm and digging out old front pages, so I'm sure a lot of these front pages and maybe even the Christmas edition will be reproduced. So on behalf of myself and the St. Augustine Record, I'd first like to thank the people of St. Augustine and St. Johns County. It's pretty remarkable to have a 125th anniversary celebration, and our success is contingent upon our local businesses, on our subscribers, and certainly on our employees. So the folks at the Lighthouse, this was really cool. We want to thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to do this today. And then the community of St. Augustine, we'd like to thank you very much for your support throughout the years and many more. So thank you.